Hello everybody, hello, I'm Matt, and welcome back to my channel for part 2 of a very special series, folks. Yes, we have a special guest. You met him in the first video, you met him in the videos from way back, but today he is back again. Jim Cushman, come on in, please. Please, welcome.
Matt, thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate you being here for part 2 of our video series. And folks, who knows the significance of the date July 6th, 1957? It's probably one of the greatest, most significant days in the history of rock and roll, because that is the day that Paul McCartney and John Lennon met for the first time. And the rest is history, folks. We know that. So, if you know of that date, you should know that this is a very significant location in this picture. Because, Jim, this is a very famous church, right?
That's the St. Peter's Hall right there in Liverpool. That's where Lennon met McCartney on July 6th.
Right inside that building.
Yes, sir.
There it is, folks. That's where it all happened. And I'll tell you what, Jim was even gracious enough to bring us an interior shot of where the meeting took place.
That's the room.
There it is, where John met Paul.
And the cool thing is...
Jim, please, tell us.
Show, Matt. We have a piece of the room.
We have an actual piece
of the floor.
Of the flooring at St. Peter's Church.
Where John met Paul in 1957.
There it is, folks, an actual piece.
How I got that was, if anybody out there knows Jackie Spencer, she's been doing tours of Liverpool for years, and she heard about my collection, and I bought something from her, and she told me, she said, I sent you something special. So the mail came, and I said, what the heck is this? And I opened it up, and she had a nice letter. That's an actual piece of the floor from the hall where Lennon met McCartney in 1957. They were refurbishing it, and she went by there, and she took a couple of pieces, and she sent me one, and I've been forever grateful.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? You can smell it.
Smell the... Creosol,
yeah.
cream, whatever. Ooh, yeah.
But that is from the room where John met Paul in 1957.
That is very cool, folks. Look at that. An actual piece of the floor. Maybe John and Paul stood in this actual piece of wood.
You tell them.
Could have happened.
Yeah, it could be.
Amazing. A piece of history right here, folks. This was the witness to history. Rock and roll history. Wow. Very cool.
That is
very
cool.
Okay. Well, who knows what this significant building or location is? Does anybody know? What is this?
I do.
Jim knows, and he's going to tell us right now. Jim, what is this place? What is
that? That is the YMCA in Birkenhead, England, where the Beatles played on Saturday, September 8th, 1962.
Wow. Amazing that they played at a YMCA.
They played at a YMCA right after Ringo joined, and it was the same week that they recorded Love Me Do.
Oh, my goodness. And this is probably a good approximation of what they might have looked like around that time.
That was taken in September by Peter Kay in 1962 in Liverpool. That's what they looked like. Ringo had only been with the band, since August 18th. So that was the middle of September, maybe about a month.
Wow. So
there they are.
Here's the Beatles, and here's their gig. Let's go play at the YMCA, right? And I'm sure they didn't play the song YMCA, though. And then you think, oh, that's cool. But here's the creme de la creme of this whole story, folks. With a certificate of authentication from the actual Birkenhead YMCA. I'll show you that first. There's the logo, Birkenhead YMCA. It's been stamped. It's been authenticated. Beatles stage memorabilia performance, 8th of September, 1962. And here it is.
There's an actual piece of the stage that John, Paul, George, and Ringo, their only appearance at the YMCA Birkenhead.
Wow. There it is,
some
folks.
people claim that Pete Best had played there with the Beatles earlier on in '62, but there's no paperwork or there's no advertisements or no paper trail. So this, as far as people know, this is the only time that the Beatles played at the Birkenhead Y.
Wow.
And I guess the concert, you can see right there too, Matt, there's a little advertisement there. See it?
Yeah, right over here,
the
folks.
Beat Cat and the Peppermint Twisters.
Jive Night, Saturday next, September 8th. The Beatles and the Beat Cats. Also, Peppermint Twisters. YMCA, Whetstone Lane, Birkenhead. 7:30 p.m. admission. I have no idea what British money symbols are.
6 pence, maybe?
6 pence?
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't 6 pounds. So...
There you go.
There it is.
An actual piece of the stage that they
Look
stepped
at that,
on.
folks. An actual piece of the stage. I'm just in awe of this.
Because what they were doing is that the Birkenhead YMCA rebuilt itself and it completely refurbished. So to raise money, they cut up the stage that the Beatles played on and they sold out like crazy.
In case I missed it, what year did they do all that? When did they cut that all up? And
it was in the early 90s.
Early 90s,
yeah.
Wow. Imagine that, it sat there almost 30 more years
And it wasn't a very big stage.
before somebody decided.
It's a small stage. It's not very big. It's surrounded by heavy curtains on both sides.
Wow.
And they said that the story is that the concert didn't go over well.
What way? Why did they say it?
I don't know. The people, a lot of people were upset that Pete Best was no longer with the band.
Oh, so
some people say that
boycotting them or something.
Yeah, that the Beat Cats were more successful that night.
Wow. There it is.
I wonder where the Beat Cats are now.
Yeah. Well, they're having the Beat Cat Fest for Beat Cat fans next week, right?
Meet the Beat Cats.
Meet the Beat Cats. That's great. What a great piece. Wow. And last but not least, in this video, folks, is my favorite. Who knows where this was taken? Many of you must, okay? That's the world-famous Star Club in Hamburg, Germany. And this is the Beatles' December shows there, right?
Yeah,
December 62. I can tell by the way they're dressed. They're kind of wearing their sweaters and stuff. And there they are. Great, great picture. Well, you think, well, that's great. Okay, thanks for showing us a picture of that. But where do you see this, folks? Jim, what do we have here? This is amazing.
An actual piece of the Star Club where the Beatles played with Pete Best in April of 1962 and with Ringo in November and December of 1962.
There it is, folks. Look at that. Beautiful picture of John to accompany the piece. Some paperwork.
It's an actual sticker from the Star Club, too, as well. Right there.
This here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me show that to everybody. Look at that actual sticker from the Star Club.
But I mean, Jimi Hendrix played on that stage, Ray Charles, Fats Domino, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, everybody played at the Star Club. But it's known as the home of the Beatles.
Wow, look at that, folks. And what a nice display piece here with the authentication letter, the sticker, the piece of the Star Club stage.
And the picture
Beautiful
of
picture of John.
In 1962.
That's great. Look at that. I got to show you again to you, folks. All stamped. Looks like it's been embossed.
Burned right into it.
Burned right into
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Great, great piece. Wow, that's beautiful.
An actual piece of the club.
There it is, piece of the Star Club right there. And you notice I'm wearing my fancy dancy gloves today, folks, because I don't want to get any fingerprints on anything, on any of my grime or smudge or Matt Street crud on these beautiful pieces. So, you know.
I wouldn't want you to do that anyway.
Matt Street scum. You know, you don't want that on these beautiful pieces. So, folks, what can you say? You've got a piece of the Birkenhead stage, a piece of the Star Club stage, a piece of the floor from St. Peter's Church where John met Paul. I mean, this stuff is amazing. I mean, do you find yourself amazed when you acquire things of this nature?
Oh yeah, but
I mean,
it's tough to get. It's tough.
Does
to
it
find
shock you? Like, oh my goodness, how did I come across this?
But you know, at home, at our house, we have a Beatles room where all the stuff is all framed. And
Right.
Clothed, the Beatles owned and worn clothing is on mannequins, and people always ask me, how does it feel when you walk into that room? And I said, it feels really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And another thing I want to ask you is, do you keep things like together, like with the wooden pieces here from the stages and whatnot, in a certain area of the room?
Autographs are on one side.
Right.
Clothing is lined up on mannequins against the window with a big giant cardboard stand-ups, and it looks really cool.
Very nice.
People are impressed, and I'm glad that they like it.
Yeah, great
Because
stuff.
what's the use of collecting this stuff if you can't show it?
Yeah, you got to be able to show it and display it and tell people about it. And that's why we're doing these videos, folks, to share with you, so you have the opportunity to see things that you probably would never see otherwise. Well, unless they went to the Magical History Tour show, they might see some things. But we got to wait for all this baloney with COVID's over, and hopefully there'll be shows like that and others that bring beautiful pieces like this right to the fans. That's what we need. So,
Definitely.
All right. Thanks again, folks. Come back for part 3. It's going to be the big finale. It's going to be something very special in memory of John and to celebrate his birthday. Thank you. Bye-bye.